Why do you binge it even though you know you're going to regret it later? Well, this used to happen to me a lot of the times. In fact, just a few days ago, I sat down to eat after a long day at work, so I was really tired. And nowadays, I aim to eat really, really slow. So I was eating slowly, but I kept getting the urge to eat faster. But I know I should eat slow because it's good for me, helps you to feel fuller, and helps you to avoid eating too much. But my own mind was literally telling me to eat faster, eat faster. So it's like my own mind was fighting against me. And it was this really difficult scenario trying to eat slow while your mind is screaming at you to eat faster. And I remember finishing that meal and just sitting down in silence and letting it sink in because I knew that a version of me from a few months ago would have completely lost that fight because I had no self control. I would literally feel the urge to eat and then start eating. Sometimes I would eat food knowing that I shouldn't be eating this. I'd be like, I shouldn't eat this, I shouldn't eat this, I shouldn't be doing this. So I was eating food knowing that I shouldn't be eating it. It was this really, really tough situation, man. It was really tough. And back then, I didn't understand what was going on, but now I do. So hopefully, if you are stuck in that cycle where you eat too much food, you feel ashamed, you regret, you eat too much, feel ashamed, regret. Here are 5 reasons why that could be the case, and most importantly, what you can do about it. So the first reason, think back to when you were a child. Almost all of us went through this, which is when you would feel some pain or when you would get hurt, you were given something to eat. And as a result, that trains your brain to go to food when things get hard. That's why most people eat when they're stressed or when they are depressed, because they have trained food to be this painkiller. And that can cause you to binge it as soon as things get tough. And the second reason is going to sound a bit weird, but you haven't kept the promises which you made to yourself. What do I mean by that? You tell yourself today I'm going to take out the trash, but then you don't do it. Or you say today I'm going to the gym and then you don't do it. And that creates this negative relationship with yourself and it causes you to hate yourself. And you start to binge it. And the more you binge it, the more you hate yourself. And the more you hate yourself, the more you binge it. And the more you binge it, the more you hate yourself. So it's this really, really painful cycle or a binge eating rut that you could be stuck in. And the key to getting out of this rut is to start with small steps. What do I mean by that? Wake up today and tell yourself you're going to make your bed and then actually do it. Or tell yourself you're going to clean the kitchen and then actually do it. Or go to the gym for 15 minutes a day. If you are in a binge eating rut, the most important thing you can do is to start with small steps. Do keep these tiny promises to yourself, and eventually you're going to get more disciplined and binge it less. And the next reason why you might binge it, even though it feels bad, is because it's the only place where you have control left. Maybe things are really chaotic in your life right now, or you're really stressed about exams, or you failed exams, or things are just going bad. So the only thing that you feel like you have control of over is how much food you eat, and you eat as much as you want, or because you are in control. And it's like trying to hold water, and the tighter you grip, the more it slips. So if you want to fix this, you have to fix the stuff outside of your food. Get your life in order. Now that can take a really long time, but that goes back to the previous step, which is start with really small steps and make small promises to yourself and keep them. That's how you also get your life in order. Now I'm not a life order expert or whatever. Don't listen to me. And the next reason why you might binge it, even though it feels bad, is because your environment is wired for binge eating. What do I mean by that? You are literally surrounded by temptations and things that are not good for you. You scroll on social media all day, and your fridge is literally filled with snacks, or your kitchen, wherever you keep your food, is filled with snacks. So you are always surrounded by temptation, and it gets really, really hard to keep overcoming temptations when they keep coming. And worst of all, if you scroll on social media all day, your brain is addicted to quick dopamine. Like there's a big science to this, but CODR, if you scroll on social media too much, it gets harder for you to resist junk food. So your environment is literally wired to cause you to binge it, and it's really hard to win that fight. The key to fixing this is to literally fix your environment. You can get rid of snacks or those foods that are really tempting for you. Get rid of them. And then instead of watching shows or reels or TikToks, you can just listen to podcasts or watch long form videos like this. On that note, subscribe, whatever. But the goal is to get your environment aligned with your goals, right? Your environment should not force you to binge eating, but your environment should help you to stop binge eating. So fix your environment. And the next reason why you might binge eat even though it feels bad is because you are dieting too much, or you are cutting food too much while you are trying to lose weight. And when you do that long enough, you start to get hungry, and your body knows how much food is getting into you, and eventually that food may become inadequate. So your body starts sending signals to your brain that, hey, tell this guy to eat more food, otherwise we're going to die. So it's your body requiring enough nutrients to survive, and if you cut too much food for a long time, eventually you're going to relapse. So the key here is to diet in a way that does not restrain you. What do I mean by that? If you're trying to lose weight, instead of cutting down food, just cut down a little and then lose weight gradually over the long term. That's the best way to do it. Now, the big takeaway here is that we all binge eat for different reasons, and usually knowing the reason behind why you're binge eating can make it easier to stop binge eating. So I just gave you 5 reasons, and hopefully you relate to one of them. And again, if you are stuck in a binge eating rut where you eat, you feel ashamed, you eat, you feel ashamed, then the best thing you can do is to start with small steps or have these little habits in your day. And if you want one habit which you can do earlier during the day, which is going to make it way easier for you to not binge it later, then watch this video right here, and hopefully you learn something. See you there.